Barcelona, Spain. Sometimes you will find that sweet spot each time a car along with the road or track you're experiencing it on undoubtedly are a perfect match. Everything flows and you also seem smoother, cleaner, and much more precise like a driver than any other time, the vehicle dancing in your tune without a heartbeat's delay. Back in October of 2015, I was a sweet spot using the McLaren 570S around the Portimão race circuit in Portugal along with the roads nearby. Something clicked tomorrow and it had been unforgettable. So surely, then, the newest McLaren 570S Spider on sun-baked roads that sweep and flip over Montserrat near Barcelona is in fact a foregone conclusion? It's likely to be epic, right? Nevertheless, I felt it had been my duty like a journalist being absolutely sure, and duly accepted the editor's invitation to find out if a 570S which consists of roof removed may very well be as good used as it sounds on paper. There would be no track element this time, plus the local policia were, by all accounts, just a little trigger very pleased with their radar equipment. Nevertheless, the 250-mile route over some incredible and varied roads should still reveal all you should know about this enticing, almost mouth-watering proposition. First, a certain amount of context. The Spider is determined to become McLaren's biggest volume seller. It joins the brand Sports Series range alongside the aforementioned 570S plus the slightly softer and much more capacious 570 GT. It's also, as with any McLarens, naturally predisposed to make for a hell of any convertible as a result of its graphite chassis, dubbed monocell 2. So stiff are these claims' central structure, which the Spider has zero additional chassis bracing along with the steering, suspension, and electronics tune is virtually exactly the same because coupes changes are restricted to several tweaks on the damper programming as outlined by Ben Gulliver, McLaren's head of vehicle development. So the bold numbers go this way: $208,800, reduced of $20,200 in the coupe, £3,302, up just £101, with fluids and 90% fuel load, 562 horsepower at 7,500 revolutions per minute and 443 pounds-to-feet at 5,000 to 6,500 revolutions per minute, 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.1 seconds, plus a top speed of 204 miles per hour using the roof up or 196 miles per hour using the retractable hardtop stowaway. In case you're wondering, that 60 miles per hour time is identical for the coupe, along with the Spider is 1/10 slower on the 0 to 124 miles per hour, 200 kph, European yardstick at 9.6 seconds. In performance terms then, it provides almost nothing to your coupe, and dynamically it ought to be virtually identical, too. Perhaps the bigger real question is whether the 3.8-litre twin-turbocharged V8 will feel more characterful without having a carbon fiber barrier between driver and induction and exhaust. For the slow crawl through Barcelona, the two-piece roof remains available, and I remind myself what I like around the 570S already. The simple, elegant cabin architecture can be as appealing now as that it was back in late 2015. Even so, the quality has a huge revolution. The ride, rapidly cheaper solution of conventional springs, dampers, and anti-roll bars with the Sports Series cars as opposed for the hydraulically linked proactive chassis power over the 720S, can be beautifully resolved. It will patter over really broken surfaces, nonetheless it rarely jars and possesses a lovely polish towards the way it rounds over worst bumps and lumps. The suspension settings between normal and sport modes are pretty close, and around the smoother roads we'll find later, even track mode is perfectly usable. Whichever setting you select though, you're feeling connected on the surface, however it's not dictating the auto's behavior. Another highlight felt even at just walking pace will be the steering. McLaren is constantly resist electronic power assist steering systems, and its particular faith in hydraulically assisted racks is utterly justified within the Spider. It positively syncs with feedback, along with the waiting and response feel so natural. It also helps this car to connect with all the driver immediately. That marks the Spider out as a gift. A sports or supercar should engage from the moment the wheels roll, and McLaren may seem to really recognize that now. With Metropolis slowly receding from the rear view mirror, it's time for you to lose your roof and get more detailed that 3.8-litre V8. The two composite panels stow away in 15 seconds at speeds as much as 25 miles per hour, along with the glass wind deflector drops to 75% of the company's full height. With the windows within, the wind swirls slightly, but it's perfectly pleasant even at policia worrying speeds. And the noise? There's an abundance of it with his sports exhaust-equipped car, a $4,090 option. The deep, frenzied blast of hot gases mirrors the simply phenomenal power of the acceleration. It's not just a beautiful sound. Even so, because V8's angry voice reflects and bounces, it weighs up rock faces because the twin-clutch 7-speed gearbox punches and shifts, which has a wicked ignition crack. You recognize the 570S Spider is a fairly serious supercar. Yes, I said supercar. McLaren would rather assert which the sports series cars are mere sports cars. However, the speed, agility, while keeping your focus of the Spider, feels pretty damn super. You really do glance at the benefits of the lean carbon fiber physique in comparison with rivals just like the R8, given it changes direction so cleanly, rides by using these poise, and fires across the straights that has a real ferocity when you wring the engine out. But what's especially impressive is always that there's a delicacy to everything it can do. Something just like a 911 Turbo S batters a road into submission and makes progress in the series of frantic lunges. By comparison, the 570S Spider glides that almost balletic approach, making you want to get smoother, neater, and much better, too. The pedals are perfectly placed to rehearse left foot braking. When you try, you get that what felt like slightly too long of an pedal travel with the right foot suddenly feels perfect. I love that one could unpeel layers in the 570S Spider's character and skills over time, such as this. It's some of those cars you understand you'd be learning interesting things about for months, maybe a considerably long time. My only problem with all the 570S Spider is there's hook mismatch between magic in the chassis as well as the response from the twin-turbocharged V8. You want to pour the vehicle down a road, which consists of agility, mid-corner stability, and carrying speed. So your instinct would be to stay in the higher gear and let the auto take the strain. Just be sure the Spider's balance disappears on corner exit. You expect instant throttle response. Any control is actually telepathic, but don't get it because the power also comes in relatively slowly. The rear can't help but steer the vehicle, and instead the nose pushes wide. Try a gear lower and also the problem remains. You've nailed the corner entry due to those lovely carbon ceramics, turned the vehicle in, and felt the grip levels intimately on account of that feelsome steering. At this point the Spider is balanced, right, standing on its toes. You see the road straightening and wish to pop out into it like a champagne cork. Nevertheless, you pin the throttle but not much happens. Then, perhaps a half second after you'd wanted it, the power is available in hard, however the corner is over and also you feel just like you only reached enjoy 50% of it. Okay, maybe a straight lower gear. Yep, that'd work well. There's still some waiting with the turbos to essentially start working hard. However, you can use the chassis balance and feel how well calibrated the dynamic mode for your escape systems is. It allows you to push right for the edge but subtly manipulates the spine back into line when you overcommit. Even so, there's something slightly outside of kilter here. The handling allows you to become smooth, measured, and accurate, though the engine demands you absolutely do beast it to completely maximize the automobile's inherent poise. I keep daydreaming about how exactly special a 570S Spider fitted by having an Audi R8 Plus engine could be. Of course, that's never going to happen. So last the real world, well, for many, when you take a 911 Turbo S Cabriolet, a R8 V10 Spider or McLaren 570S Spider. I think the McLaren wins. And by an attractive decent margin. 2018 McLaren 570S Spider specifications on sale now, price $208,800. Base engine 3.8 litres twin-turbo dog 32-valve V8 560 seconds horsepower at 7,500 revolutions per minute, 443 pounds-to-feet at 5,000 to 6,500 revolutions per minute. Transmission 7-speed dual-clutch automatic layout, 2-door, 2-passenger, mid-engine, RWD convertible. EPA mileage 16.23 miles per gallon. City/highway LXWXH 178.3 by 85.5 by 47.3 in wheelbase, 105.0 in weight, 3,302 pounds. 0 to 60 miles per hour 3.1 seconds. Top speed 204 miles per hour.